Can introverts be public speakers, live performers, musicians? Welcome to Dueling Personalities. This is Johnny. Thank you for tuning in today. I'm driving home from a gig, and I wanted to share with you my thoughts on this common misconception that we hear a lot of times, that people who are entertainers, musicians, live performers, public speakers, things like that, must be extroverts and they can't be introverts. I worked with someone who was a MyersBriggs ISFP this weekend, and I have to say, I thought that this person was an extrovert, and we're going to talk about why this happens. So in the Myers-Briggs type indicator, every personality type has two introverted functions and they have two extroverted functions in the top four cognitive functions of their cognitive function stack. INFJs, INFPs, ISFPs, etc. We are introverts because the dominant cognitive function that we are using is an introverted process. But our second function, by default, will always be an extroverted function. The person that I worked with on stage this weekend was using auxiliary extroverted sensing. And extroverted sensing is an action-oriented function. It's about the present moment. And he was a wonderful performer. He was, very like theatrical and did things with just his body and his hands, and he was entertaining the crowd, rocking the crowd. And I thought, at first I thought he was like, well, maybe he's like an ESFP or something, right? Well, no, he's an introvert. We talked about this. He's an introvert. But he was appearing as an extrovert because he was wielding that auxiliary function. He was putting that out there to put on a show and perform for the audience. So I want to say this to anyone listening who maybe at one time was a musician, or maybe you are a musician or a performer, an entertainer, or maybe you would like to be, but you are afraid to be. And as an INFJ, I can tell you I understand, I understand stage fright, performance anxiety. I know it all too well, believe me, okay? But what I want to say to you is, understand that even if you are an introvert, if you do want to perform, if you want to public speak, but you're just nervous, you can overcome that anxiety by wielding that auxiliary cognitive function that you have. I've said this before and I'll say it again. PersonalityHacker.com states that the highest leverage point for growth for a personality type, any personality type, is to cultivate and work on using their second cognitive function. So for an INFP, that would be extroverted intuition. For an INFJ, that would be extroverted feeling. For an ISFP, that would be extroverted sensing, and so on. So if you don't know what your second function is, find out, okay? And then say, how can I incorporate my extroverted functions into this endeavor, this live performance endeavor? Now, you can certainly use your introverted functions during a live performance too. There's a place for all of it. But usually what I do is when I'm writing a song, when I'm, in the woodshed, so to speak, I'm practicing, I'm really heavily relying on my NI and my TI, my introverted functions, because I want the song to, I want to craft the song, right? But when it comes to the performance of the song, the delivery of the emotionality of the song, the performance, I definitely want to rely on my extroverted feeling and my extroverted sensing. The extroverted sensing is the performance aspect, the live, action-based, in the present moment delivery of the song. And the extroverted feeling, of course, is the emotionality, the feeling, the intensity of, just all that encompasses the human condition, our experience, and what I'm feeling and what others are feeling, how we can put that out there for the audience. So introverts can definitely be live performers. Being an introvert just means that you're oriented towards your inner world, and it means that you are drained from social interaction. You guys, I am exhausted after a weekend of performing, and it's even a miracle that I'm doing this video right now, but it's like, you know what? Hey, I'm going to get on here and get something out to you guys. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for tuning in. Please share this video. Do you know any musicians, performers, public speakers, entertainers who are into MBTI, and maybe you don't know their type, or you think they're an extrovert, right? Share this video with them. You might be surprised, and you might find out that they're also an introvert. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the subscribe button. Talk to you in the next video. Take care.